So here's the second part of my answer to Liam's question about clients who don't seem to take your advice, who won't seem to do what you've encouraged, asked, or even told them to do. So just to finish off what I was talking about in the first video, everybody can be enlightened, everybody, right? Or everyone can achieve enlightenment from this perspective, as in everyone can create new neuro associations. Everyone can connect the dots between a previous experience or an experience they're currently having and an experience they want to have, if they're shown how to do so, right? So the real trick, if you will, the real skill of coaching is connecting the dots between what Mary is seeing and hearing and experiencing and feeling in her brain right now and the way she wants to feel. And you can even use another tool, which is the way she doesn't want to feel, okay? So really simple way to kind of either connect the dots more strongly or kind of create her own version of connecting the dots, as in undo some dots, right? If you want to put it that way, is to ask Mary, like, quite simply, what does she believe is going to happen if she keeps using this current approach? Like, hey, Mary, do you think, like, using this approach as it is right now is ever going to get you where you want to go? Don't answer for her, don't encourage her, don't put words in her mouth. Like, just ask her as an actual question, like, what do you really believe is going to happen? If we keep doing what we're doing right now, what do you believe is going to happen? And then be silent. See, because the most powerful way of Mary connecting the dots is for her to hear herself say, shit, this is never going to get me where I want it to go. Now, if she does say, well, yeah, I do believe it will, then ask her the circumstances. Okay, so what causes you to believe that the current pattern that we're using, the current format, the current system, the current approach is going to get you there? Why is it that you believe that, Mary, right? But what you'll find out, and Mary is just kind of a name that I give to kind of to everybody, right? Kind of men, women, children, kind of they all get given the name Mary to hide their identities, right? But so, Mary, what do you think is actually going to happen if you continue to use this approach? Do you believe you'll ever get there, right? Mary is not stupid, because no one's stupid, right? Mary is just simply connecting the dots in a way where she's defending an old behavior, or she's coming from a system of connection that is predetermined. She's always thought this way. When you ask her to break that pattern, when you say, what do you think is going to happen if we keep using this? She's like to go, shit, I'm never going to get there. And when she connects the dots herself, now we've got another bridge span in place. And because another bridge span has moved into place, she's ready for the next piece of information, okay? Or rather, if we're truly going to connect the dots, the next piece of information comes in the form of the next question. Okay, so what do you think needs to change here? Or what do you think we should stop doing? Or what do you think needs to start happening here? And so on and so forth, right? Each question leads to another piece of the bridge span being put across until eventually Mary is crossing the river of her own accord. Now, you haven't had to cajole her, you haven't had to push her, you haven't had to pull her, you haven't had to force her, you haven't had to kind of make Mary feel like she's being judged because she's not coming up to your standard or whatever it happens to be. I'm sure you're very, very caring with your clients, but this is how most clients generally tend to feel when their own coaches start to get frustrated at the client's experience. They feel that and they start to feel judged. So what if you're able to just simply step out of the way and do what a really amazing coach does, which is basically elevates themselves to 30,000 feet and just looks down on the client's life and says, I'm not making you right or wrong, good or bad, or any of those kind of things. I'm simply telling you what I'm seeing, and I'm asking you questions so that I can gain clarity about what's happening here. Now, if Mary actually says, do you know what, I'm really happy with the way I'm going, it's kind of, the results aren't the biggest thing in the world, then that's absolutely awesome. But if she says, no, this is making me really, really unhappy, and I just realized that I'm never going to get to where I said I wanted to go if I keep following this strategy, then that is awesome too. Right? So that's another thing about, I believe, about being an absolutely awesome and enlightened coach, is releasing all attachment to the outcomes. Release all attachment to the outcomes. Just be there for Mary on Mary's journey. You can't enlighten Mary. I can't enlighten Mary. Mary can only enlighten herself by joining the dots. So I just want to kind of address one final point. You said it's bizarre. Mary signed up again and she paid me another 5K, right? And she's been with me like on and off for 3 years. It's really weird. Why is she paying me this money and yet kind of not following my advice? Well, you've got to understand that Mary's probably not buying what you think she's buying. You as a coach are getting all het up and all kind of panicky because she's not getting the result that you think she's really come there for. She could be there for any number of other reasons, right? And those other reasons could simply be social support, social connection, the feeling that someone believes in her, the feeling that someone's got her back, any number of other things other than the result. It's very popular these days, particularly from coaches who have come from a personal training background, to have this kind of kick-ass approach and say the only thing that matters is the result. The only thing that matters is the result. I promise you, there are lots of things that matter more than the actual result, and it's how a person feels while they're pursuing it. Okay, if you wanted to lose 20, 30 pounds, I could get 20, 30 pounds off you in the next 15 seconds. It's called a machete through the thigh, and I could amputate your right thigh, right? I'm sure that's the experience that you don't want to have. Think about Mary. Mary, maybe she's giving you 5K. She's probably not giving you the 5K for an actual result, even though she'd like that and she wants that. She's probably giving you the 5K for an experience. So maybe as a coach, dig more into that as well. Like, what is it about working with me that you're enjoying, Mary? And give her more of that. And hey, Mary, when we're working together and you're finding it more stressful, or you're feeling a bit frustrated, or you're not enjoying the process as much, what is it that's happening between us that makes that happen? Figure that out, and then give Mary more of the experience that she wants. And as you give her more of the experience that she wants, you'll then start to find that she naturally gravitates toward taking, if you want to call it that, taking more of your advice and taking forward action. Okay, so that's another 7 minutes. So I'm going to stop there. I hope this has been a useful set of answers for you. And there's a lot more to it than this. Obviously, I'm trying to kind of cover some pretty deep topics in just a couple of videos. But I hope that's hit the spot, and I hope that's made a little bit of sense for you, Liam. And anybody else who's watching this, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I've said here. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? What are your feelings about what I've said? Make a comment down below, to the side, wherever that place is. Say something. Give me some feedback. Love to hear from you. Take care, guys.